Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Beard's Opinion. So tonight we are going to do Osaka, Japan. It's there's a couple of them, but there's this one in the mall that I like to go to and eat. And so I already went and ordered, and here we go. I've got nothing, and there's a story behind that. So my wife and I were thinking about, Osaka, Japan. This sounds good. We'll go there and get some stuff. We're going to get some shrimp with rice and veggies. And we love that place. Like, it's been such a great place to go to and eat. And we decided, let's go and eat there. So I go there to order. And first off, they've changed management. And that's 99% of the time out of any of the times I've encountered this with changed management and stuff. Excuse me. It takes a good thing and just makes it worse. It just makes it bad, and it really sucks because I went there to order, and before, when it was the old management, you would say, I'll get the steamed rice and then throw on extra veggies, and they'd be like, okay. And they'd scoop the veggies, and then they'd scoop some more veggies, and then they'd scoop more veggies and put it on top. And it's like cabbage, broccoli, carrots, and they're like steamed veggies, and they're really, really good. And they still have a little bit of crunch to them, just like a veggie should. It shouldn't be soggy and flopping around because it's no longer a veggie, in my opinion. It's just crap. Anyways, they were really good. I went there, I ordered, I said, I want the steamed rice, I'm going to get the shrimp, and I want extra veggies. And they go over to get the veggies, and they put the rice on first and in the container, and then they go over to the veggies, and they get just a little bit of scoop, and all it is cabbage. There's no carrots or anything in there, and they just scoop it on top of the rice. And it was just like a normal little tiny size scoop. In fact, it was probably smaller than what they used to give. And I'm like, I said extra, and they're like, yeah, we did. And it's not the same as it used to be. Like, it used to be a lot more quality and a lot more quantity for what you pay. And they raised their prices too after they changed management. So anyways, I just let that one slide. And then they start cooking the food up. And they have different, like, spatulas that they're using. They're cooking on this big grill, and they will get out the raw meat, like the beef or the shrimp or the chicken, and they're like putting it on the grill, and they're cooking it with the one spatulas, and then they'll set those down and go over to the stuff that's already cooked up and use the other spatulas to finish it off. This guy yesterday, he was doing that, with the raw ones, and then he went over and he scooped up some chicken and because I got one that had shrimp and chicken. Scooped it up, put it on top of the rice and veggies, and then he went to get my shrimp, and he went over and got the tongs from the raw beef, chicken, and shrimp that he had, and he started cutting through the beef and flipping it. He flipped the raw chicken over, and one side was all raw, and it hit the spatula, and he slid it off, and then he started scooping the shrimp around, and then he scooped the shrimp up and set it on top of the chicken. Fail number 2. So, not only did I pay for no quality of stuff, no quantity of stuff, but I also got salmonella, so it was a pretty good deal. It just blows my mind. Anyways, then he scoops up my wife's shrimp and puts it on hers. And at the time, I couldn't smell it because they had a lot of chicken with the teriyaki sauce and all that stuff going, and other food places because it was at the mall. And I get the food and get out to the car, and I can smell something, and it just smells bad. And I don't know, I didn't know what it was at the time. And I get home and walk in the door, and the smell is just horrendous. And I walk over to have my wife her food, and we open up the food, and the smell comes out of the food. That shrimp was bad. It was like rotten. And I mean, it was awful, yucky smelling, almost enough to make me gag. And I don't gag on much if it's, on much food, unless it's like super nasty. But I ended up taking the food back right away, and I went back to the mall, and I said, I want to speak to a manager. He's like, there isn't a manager here. And I said, well, I want my money back. I'm like, you smell the shrimp. The shrimp is bad. It's disgusting. I told him, I said, I do food reviews on YouTube, and I'm I'm like, I cook all the time, and I know shrimp isn't supposed to be this way. And he smells it, and he's like, oh, it smells fine. I'm like, no, it's bad. So he gave me my money back, and I left. And instead, I ended up just going to Burger King, grabbing a couple sandwiches, and coming home. But by doing so, by switching to Burger King, I saved my family 15%. So just like Geico. Just kidding. But it was just awful. So if you guys ever come to Provo and you go to the mall here in Provo and you are looking at Osaka, don't go there. It's awful. I hate doing that because, you know, they used to be so good when they were under the other management. The prices were better. The food quality and quantity was just amazing. Like, you could hardly close the container before, and because there was no room, and it was just such good flavor, and the quality of stuff was just a lot better. And now it's just gone downhill so bad. Even though they've tried to revamp the whole place and make it look nice and everything, kept the same name, but it's crap. It is just complete crap. So if you guys ever go to the Provo Mall, just bypass Osaka, Japan, and don't go and eat that. It is disgusting, and it was crap. And that being said, we are sitting here, we meaning my two boys and I, while my wife's at work, in our house with no power because there's a downed transformer. Yay! So we thought, what could we do? Let's make a video and talk about Osaka. But yeah, it sucked. It was really nasty. And I wasn't about to take a bite of that and have diarrhea for days afterwards. So that being said, I love you guys, and look for another food review. Hopefully there will actually be food on the review. Osaka, I'm giving you, out of 10 beards, a -10 because that was horrendous. Get on your freaking game, and just, you guys need to get back to it and do things right and think of the customers, not about your bank account, because you sucked. I hate doing that, but you sucked. Probably the worst review I'll ever do, and I was kind of pissed. So we'll talk to you guys later.